really an issue, and I just feel like I'm not at the stage of really liking you yet. That's just me being honest about it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, it's Beats, your girl KylerB coming at you with a new video. So today we're going to be talking about Love Island Season 10, Episode 45, and let's get right into the video. Today's episode is basically the finale of Scott and Abby. It is the finale of Scabi. It's like, let's wrap this up ASAP Rock E, okay? So basically, after the whole Grafties award, Whitney was obviously and rightfully upset because of Tyreek's behavior. Tyreek, who is her so-called friend, told her to shush in front of the entire villa in a disrespectful manner. So, obviously Lockham was upset. He was talking about it to Sammy, and he was like and Sammy even had to come up with a good point and basically say, well, if somebody told Ella to shush, Tyreek would have lost his head. He would have been like going at everybody because somebody told Ella to shush. So the fact that you told Whitney to shush in front of Lockham like it was nothing, it was like it's mad disrespectful. So that's what Lockham, was saying, and obviously Sammy agrees. So then Tyreek comes over to Lockham to try to squash the whole situation. I think he was talking to Mitchell first because the whole clip was about Mitchell and Abby. Mitchell basically calling Abby a ick, and so that was the whole situation. So Tyreek comes over to squash it, and he's just like, you know what, I was wrong for saying that, because if anybody, he basically said the same thing Lockham said and whatnot. He's like, if somebody told that to Ella, like, I would, it was disrespectful, and basically telling Winnie to shush in front of, Lockham, who's her guy, is really disrespectful. We see Whitney, I guess, talking about it with Ella, and a couple other people, and Ella's trying to justify the whole Tyreek situation, basically saying like, oh, it was just basically between Tyreek and Lockham. And that's where I'm just like, Ella did not check Tyreek. She was defending the situation. She did not check Tyreek at all. She defended him, and Whitney basically had to say like, nah, it's disrespectful. Like, once you cross the line and disrespect me, it's not between just him and Lockham. Tyreek and Lockham's conversation, they squashed it, whatever. He comes over to Whitney to try to have a chat, and I guess Whitney was still upset. She just needed time to like basically cool down or whatever, just basically take it in before having a chat with him. So he was like, Whitney, I don't want it to carry on tomorrow, so at least by tonight let's have a conversation and squash it. So obviously they later on do have that conversation and basically say like, if you rate me as a friend, if you're like one of my best guy friends or whatever in the villa or whatever, why are you disrespecting me? Because disrespect, like, I really take seriously. So obviously he still apologizes. He's like, I apologize, whatever. And to be honest, if Tyreek didn't realize what he did was wrong, I don't think Ella would have checked him. I don't think so. I think Ella would have just been like, you know what, it was just between the guys and Whitney Button, and that's basically how she sees it. But anyway, obviously Whitney and Tyreek squashed it. They're cool again. They're good. They're whatever. Anyways, after the whole situation between Mitchell and Scott, after the whole Grafties, Abby was trying to talk to Scott and basically say, hey, we have, you want to have a chat. Tell me why Scott was like, no, I think you should go to the girls and I go to the guys. See, and then, Abby's just like, really? Like, what? And he's like, no, I just need a second. Like, so he goes over to the guys and basically discuss the whole situation, where he stands with Abby and such. And I'm just like, bro, this is like so many telltale signs. Like, it's a very high key. There's no low key subtleness about this whole situation. He's so high key that he blatantly does not like Abby. He just does not like her. It's blatantly obvious. Like, the fact that you just told her, no, I don't want to have a chat with you right now. You can talk to your girls, and then I can talk to the guys right now. Like, please, we're in the final week of this show. Everybody's supposed to be at least trying to build something, and this is what you're doing. Mitchell and Scott have a chat about the whole knobhead comment, and Scott's like, I stand by the whole knobhead comment because like he was saying, And the whole situation was about Abby, how he two-timed Abby and Ella B, and he was making a joke about the whole situation, which is like, what are you doing? So he was like, you know, I stand by that comment because how you're acting was not bad behavior. But then Mitchell, for some reason, is talking about how, oh, you're not taking account in Abby's feelings, like stringing her along. You need to stop doing that. You like need to take into account her feelings. Da 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 da. Like stop doing that. Da 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 da. So it just seems like he's still, I guess, sort of kind of hung up on Abby. And I'm just like, who is Mitchell to even make that kind of suggestion to Scott? Like, you see how Mitchell moves? Like, Mitchell moves very, you know, flip-floppy, wishy-washy, and he's telling Scott that he needs to take account of Abby's feelings because he doesn't like how he's moving with Abby. And Scott's like, I told Abby to slow down. I told her that we were forcing it. Like, what is leading her on? Like, I'm not leading her on. Like, I'm basically trying to keep her down, like, cool her off. Like, what's leading her on? So he's just basically telling Scott to just basically dead the relationship because it's not going anywhere. But obviously people want to be, you know, stubborn and prolong stuff that's not going anywhere for no reason. And I'm just like, I understand you trying to make it to the finale, but like this is not going to work at all. So yeah, they go to bed. Next day, you know, Abby and Scott basically have another conversation, and basically it was the whole, they ended it, you know. They were just like, you know, Scott's just like, my feelings are not really there, you know, I'm just not feeling it, you know. Abby's just like, you know what, you know, they basically ended it, you know. He finally gave her a hug. It's kind of funny because Abby's just like, oh, now you want to give me a hug, you know, after they ended this whole situation. I'm just like, they really dragged it out for what? Like, dragging this out for what? He could have ended it from day 2, day 3, to be honest. Like after Abby ended it with Scott, he should have just left it alone. Like, trying to pick it back up and like, oh, let's continue on. Continue on for what? Like, it was such a dumb thing for them to do, and, you know, Abby's still trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And, like, even though everybody in the villa is like, it's not there. So after he ends it, or they both basically end their relationship and basically become a friendship couple, he basically goes back to, like, they were, like, in, you know, in the grass or whatever, and basically tells the group of people basically, like, oh, yeah, me and Abby ended it. So then Abby, like, talks to Molly and Zach and is like, oh, yeah, me and Scott ended it. So then Ella B and Mitchell's, I guess they can hear it or whatever in the villa, like, oh, they finally ended it. That was over. Like, I'm glad, da-da-da-da. Before they ended it, Mitchell was talking about it, you know, to the guys, like, oh, I don't like how, you know, Scott is treating Abby or whatever with her feelings or whatever. So then Sammy had to be the one to be like, yeah, I understand the whole situation, but like, why are you so involved? Because it doesn't even, like, it's not even involving you. Like, you already ended your relationship with Abby. Now you're focusing on Ella B. So why are you now involved with that whole entire relationship? You know, you should be focusing on Ella B because Ella B might take it that way. So, like, you know, Sam was just like, cool it down with the whole situation. You know, Jess gets a text at the nighttime, basically that our votes came in, and basically they found out who the least compatible couples were. So, when Jesus says yes, nobody can say no. Like, okay, how many weeks, how many times I've been saying, get Scott and Abby out of there. Getting Scott and Abby out of that villa. Get Scott and Abby out of that villa. How many times? And my prayers have been answered, okay? It's been answered, alright? Alright, let's just talk. Basically, the least 3 compatible couples were Molly and Zachariah, Mitchell and Ella B, and Scott and Abby. So basically, one of the couples were going to get dumped, and and the only way they got dumped is because the Islanders had to choose. Well, conveniently enough, Scott and Abby ended their relationship and basically in front of the entire villa said they were a friendship couple. That was basically easy pickings right there. Just announcing to the villa you're a friendship couple. Now they have to vote out the least compatible couple. Easy pickings. And the fact that you're like less than a week from the finale, easy pickings, okay? Obviously, they send Scott and Abby home.
So the couple we've decided to dump on the island is Scott and Abby.
Scottisha.
My female best friend.
They're and dusted. I mean, I think Scott was happy to be sent home. He was just like, let's go. Like, nobody really cared. Like, it was just easy pickings. I think everybody was kind of like shocked that Molly and Zachariah were in the bottom three. But then at the end of the day, it was only 6 couples. And if anybody else was in the bottom three, I guess if Jess and Sammy, they would have felt some type of way. If Whitney and Lockham, they would feel some type of way. If Tyreek and Elle, they would feel some type of way. So either way, somebody had to be up there because it's the least 3 couples that got voted for. You know, Abby's just like, you know, I just wish I had, found somebody. I'm like, to be honest, you had your person with Mitchell, but she really fumbled that badly because you wanted to entertain Scott for what, after 2 weeks? You wanted to entertain Scott for what? Like, to be honest, you should just talk to Scott, end it with Scott, and that's it. You entertain Scott, and then as soon as the new bombshell LB comes in, you're like, oh, Mitchell shouldn't be moving that way. Like, you should have been, just like how Mitchell gave you the time of day to speak to Scott, you should have been allowing Mitchell to speak to LB. And if you went about it way differently than you did, Mitchell wouldn't even entertain LB. He would have probably came straight back to you and been fine, and you would have been still in a couple, basically the same time frame as, Whitney and Lockham, same 4 weeks. But you decided to mess it up, and then Mitchell decided to do his thing with LB, and obviously he was being wishy-washy once again with the whole situation, and because of how you were acting very ick-like behavior, because you were acting like, Mitchell shouldn't be able to speak to LB or talk to LB and stuff like that. You just acting like you didn't just talk to Scott the other day. That relationship ended. Obviously, there's still things there, but obviously the way Mitchell disrespected her, standing her ground, that she's just not going to go back to Mitch. She still likes the guy. And I think Mitchell most likely does like Abby too, but he's just trying to, because him and LB had more of a realistic relationship than her and Scott did, he's trying to play it up like, oh, he really likes LB, whatever. So everybody say their byes to Scott and Abby. Obviously Whitney and Scott had their little final friendship hug and everything. They went out the villa. So then next thing you know, Molly and Zachariah just upset that, quote unquote, not really upset, but a little shocked that they're in the bottom 3. But it is what it is. Everybody's just like now happy in their couples, Then we see a conversation between Mitchell and LB. And LB was just like, for the entire day, all we did was talk about Abby and Scott. And I'm just like, why are we not talking about us? So, Mitchell basically used the excuse that, well, maybe the whole villa was talking about it, So, she's just basically trying to redirect Mitchell to focus on their relationship. And so, for the past entire 2 weeks, it's just been the Mitchell, Abby, Scott, LB show. Like, for the past 2 weeks. We are tired. For the past week or so. It just been the whole Scott and Abby thing. They're not compatible. Oh, break up. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just, like, for the past, but we are tired. Like, I'm kind of upset that they dragged it out so long. Like, please. That should have been wrapped up since day 2. Like, please. What are we doing? Molly gets a text, and basically she gets a text out. Now they're down to the final 5. They're going to go on to their final dates. And then, each couple is going to have to vote for their least compatible couple. So now they're going to get another vote, which involves another dumping.
Islanders, it'll soon be time for each of you to go on your final dates. However, whilst on your dates, you'll have to decide who you think is the least compatible couple. That couple will be vulnerable and therefore at risk of being dumped from the island. Hashtag it's giving bittersweet.
We are down to final 6 people and we have a week left, or less than a week left now. Like, we need to do some dumpings and ASAP because we need to get to the final 4 couples. Like, ASAP Rocky. And you know what? When they were getting to bed, tell me why Mitchell decided to tell Lockham, I think LB is fake.
I think LB is fake. Read it. The way LB's been moving, I feel like she's more bothered to be here than she is with me.
truthfully. Spyler.
Where?
He thinks she's fake.
He thinks that Ella's fake. Brilliant. I just think LB's fake, bro. Where? I don't know, I just feel like there's giving energy and there's giving too much false energy. I feel like I've been getting that.
Like, did you not just hear Molly said that they gotta vote for the least compatible couple, and you're going around the vote? Well, you're telling Lockham that you think LB's fake. So Lockham then tells the information to Tyreek, and he's like, you know, Mitchell just told me that he thinks LB's fake. So Tyreek has said, brilliant. Because I'm like, we just have to do another vote where we have to pick a least compatible couple, and you just basically gave me easy pickings once again. You gave me the vote on a silver platter. Nobody has to think twice who to vote for. They're all going to vote for LB and Mitchell. Like, just easy pickings. Easy pickings. How messy that guy is. And the thing is, after he said that, LB walks into the room and she kissed him. I'm like, if she's so fake, why are you still entertaining her? Which is so weird. So then he finally, I guess when Tyreek comes in the room, he actually tells Tyreek himself too. He's like, you know, I think LB is fake, but maybe I'm just like deeping it, Are you serious? But yeah, we're down to the final 5 couples. That's basically end of the episode. We finally got Scott and Abby out of there. We got Scabi out of there. Anyway, let's also talk about this whole exit interview that Scott did. Basically, if you haven't seen it or you have seen it, you basically know that Scott basically, he doesn't know what's happening on the outside. He's not up to current events. He doesn't know what's going on. So you need to take that exit interview with a grain of salt. The last time he saw Catherine, she was with Elam, all cozied up. That's the last time he saw Catherine. He hasn't seen her. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know that the Empire has crashed and failed since leaving the villa. So he doesn't know what's going on. He thinks that they're doing so well outside the villa, which that's definitely not the case. So he doesn't know what's going on. He basically said that when he's done with a situation, he's done. He's basically happy for Catherine and Elam. Basically, you know, is what it is. He basically said in cast some more, he should have gave Gabby some more time. He basically said that he shouldn't have done, you know, Leah like that. Because, to be honest, he just basically trying to say, like, you know, since Catherine's happy with Elam, maybe he should have, like, you know, been more, I guess, you know, more choosy or be able to pick more people instead of, like, being loyal to Catherine. But he doesn't know Catherine is, you know, still willing to really talk to him and, you know, basically rekindle what they had in the villa. So he doesn't know that. So until we see After Sun and the post interviews, and until we actually see what he really, really, truly says after all that, then we can actually make a judgment. Because those exit interviews are never really, you don't know. At the end of the day, I really think that Scott and Catherine are going to rekindle what they had in the villa and, you know, explore that, you know, down the line somehow. So, but that's basically it. We finally got Scott and Abby out that villa. Because tell me, like, I know the producers were definitely not going to spend money on no final day. And I know the producers have been seeing, been peeping, been preying that all the Islanders have been saying Scott and Abby are just not compatible. Everybody, every last one of them said it. They even heard Mitchell said, let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 get back to the real couples. So everybody was just, that's why they let the Islanders choose. Because if it was down to the votes would have let them still be in the villa. And they were like, nah, we can't let no friendship couple into the finals. Like, they were just like, nah, we can't do this. And that was the only way to get them out of the villa. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, comment down below. You know your thoughts, comments, concerns, and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. Peace.